These the last days of repentance. Jacob gon' rise, he's finished. Hating on the nation cause we in it. You have a shot of one, giving vengeance. Lying and hating on your brethren. Sisters backbiting and rebellious. Giving up the people for the riches. Most High have mercy on Israel. These the last days of repentance. Jacob gon' rise, he's finished. Hating on the nation cause we in it. You have a shot of one, giving vengeance. Lying and hating on your brethren. Sisters backbiting and rebellious. Giving up the people for the riches. Most High have mercy on Israel. Understand we have our own problems. Turn to the Most High, bet He gon' solve them. Get out your feelings, no, we don't deal with it. Most High gave us His word, better off feeling this. Time I was sitting for a minute. His mercy and His grace endureth. Script 11 speaks of Psalms. Upon the wicked shall rain brimstone. These the last days of repentance. Jacob gon' rise, he's finished. Hating on the nation cause we in it. You have a shot of one, giving vengeance. Lying and hating on your brethren. Sisters backbiting and rebellious. Giving up the people for the riches. Most High have mercy on Israel. These the last days of repentance. Jacob gon' rise, he's finished. Hating on the nation cause we in it. You have a shot of one, giving vengeance. Lying and hating on your brethren. Sisters backbiting and rebellious. Giving up the people for the riches. Most High have mercy on Israel.
We hop out with scripture in hand. Clock out, don't cop out, offending your pen. Cause spirits might drop through your residence sin. Spirits be sticky, remember the saying. Heathens be icky, I'm washing my hands. I'm doing the dance, it ain't for no bands. It's for the kingdom, it's all for a plan. How will we worry about bottles and grams when brothers and sisters get slaughtered again? Mr. and Mrs. departing again. I'm from the slums, so what part are you in? You from the south, they taking them out. They got every nigga outside of their house, cutting their grass and washing their blouse. You do the math, they subtracting you out. They stealing ideas, they ain't sharing the clout. They chill on the couch while they watching you couch. They tryna get in and we locking them out. We glocking them out and we rocking them out. The spirit be knowing what it's all about. When you be fast and the spirit come out, it's like a cannon, remember the drought. If you a heathen, don't come to my house. Just wait right outside and I'm finna come out.
These the last days of repentance. Jacob gon' rise, he's finished. Hating on the nation cause we in it. You have a shot of one, giving vengeance. Lying and hating on your brethren. Sisters backbiting and rebellious. Giving up the people for the riches. Most High have mercy on Israel. These the last days of repentance. Jacob gon' rise, he's finished. Hating on the nation cause we in it. You have a shot of one, giving vengeance. Lying and hating on your brethren. Sisters backbiting and rebellious. Giving up the people for the riches. Most High have mercy on Israel.
Baby, I'm righteous, you know you like this. Let's become as one, we so united. Don't try to fight it, we moving righteous. We gotta keep him first, his love is priceless. Love you like Christ did, there's things that I did. Fell down on my knees, I could not hide it. We walking blameless, I ain't ashamed of this. Woke my spirit up, girl, we was made for this. So let's not play with it. He taught me patience. You so amazing. Your spirit blazing, my spirit blazing. You say you want a righteous man with a plan. We can run it up, girl, we can get these bands. Flies to the beach, put our feet up in the sand. Just got low, I ain't never ever ran. Gotta stay humble, but really on the man. Nice on the block, me and Wong's dangling. Gotta test spirit, everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your man. If you fall, get back up again. Do what you can. Baby, I'm righteous, you know you like this. Let's become as one, we so united. Don't try to fight it, we moving righteous. We gotta keep him first, his love is priceless. Love you like Christ did. It's things that I did, I could not hide it. I'm in my feelings tryna hide it. I'm tryna hide it. We walking blameless, I ain't ashamed of this. Woke my spirit up, girl, we was made for this. So let's not play with it. He taught me patience, he taught you patience. Girl, you amazing, our spirits blazing. Don't get complacent, I know what you chasing.
Shalom, shalom, and shalom, everybody. Welcome to the night's class. We're gonna give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. All right, before we get started, we're gonna pray. So, brothers, if you got your head covered, please uncover your head. Sisters, if you don't have anything to cover your head, please get you something to cover your head so we can face the east and pray. I'll give everybody a second to do that, and then we'll pray. Khan, let's pray.
Khan, I'm calling on the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, please let your spirit flow through the brother that's teaching today and let our people get edified, Lord. Lord, please protect us in these last days and let us come to your word and feed us this knowledge of the truth so we can know more and more and find out what's going on. Lord, protect us as we are in this captivity. And just, Lord, just watch over us, Lord. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. All praises to the Most High. All right, so you got it, King.
Brother, you can see my screen. I can't even see myself. Y'all see?
Yeah, we can see you, King.
All right, Khan. Okay. So shalom, everybody, brothers and sisters on the call. Hope brothers and sisters have a mighty day through the Spirit, man. Hope brothers and sisters can enduring. Feast of Dedication is coming up this weekend, Friday at sundown. It's gonna be the first day of Feast of Dedication. So in honor of Feast of Dedication, I'm gonna touch on First Maccabees chapter 1, going into the Greek captivity and why we go so hard and we be so happy to celebrate Feast of Dedication, also known as Hanukkah. Because when you get into your regular King James Bible, it talks about all the captivities that Israel went through besides the Greek captivity. You won't find the Greek captivity nowhere in your Bible if you don't got besides 1611 King James version. But if you got the regular King James version, you won't find the Greek captivity nowhere. And the so-called white man, he took that out for a reason. He took the Greek captivity, or he took the apocrypha out of the Bible for a reason, because he didn't want you to know about the history during the time of the Greeks. Because America, it glorifies the Greeks, right? They talk about Alexander the Great. Even when in the First Maccabees chapter 1, it talks about Alexander the Great, but it don't talk about him as America talk about him. America talk about him as being this great guy. You know, he was a mighty man. He was a good man. They love talking about the Greeks. They worship the Greeks in here in America, man. A lot of our people want to be Greeks, want to get into these fraternities and sororities, right, and call themselves Greeks. But the Bible show you how the Greeks truly was. They was a disgusting, wicked, nasty people. And this is why we go so hard for celebrating Feast of Dedication, Day of Simon, Destruction of Nicanor. We got 3 feast days off the Greek captivity alone. That's why the so-called white man took this out. So I'm just touch on First Maccabees chapter 1, Lord willing. It got 64 verses, so I ain't gonna try to make it too long. But we're finna touch on this thing real quick and to see how bad was the Greek captivity really was. So you can start, King, at chapter 1, verse 1.
Still like my fault.
No, you good.
First Maccabees 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians, and Medes,
Medes.
that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Hold on, so right now, this is talking about Alexander the Great. As we call him Alexander the Free. Because if you look at the Greeks were disgusting people, man. That's why when you look up these statues on your phone, you see these statues of the Greeks, they naked. You know, they wrestling naked. They did a lot of things naked, man. These were disgusting men. They men laid with men. The leader of the army, he laid with the soldiers. That was a custom in the Greek captivity. I mean, not the Greek captivity. That was a custom during the Greeks. And if I ain't mistaken, Alexander the Great, or Alexander the Free, he died of a sexual disease from laying with a man. You know what? You brother can look it up. Right? These Greeks were vile people, man. And I think Alexander, he was young when he started ruling. He was around like his early 20s when he was taking over all these countries. I mean, that's Alexander the Great, man. He was a so-called white man. But come on, you can get it. Keep going, King.
And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
Right, so you know the Greeks during this time, man, they had everything on lock. You know, nobody didn't want to mess with them. You know, they was taking people's spoils, going to other nations, taking everything they got, putting people in slavery. You know, at this time, you know, the Greeks, nobody couldn't stop them. They was doing their thing. Right, but you keep going, King.
And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him.
Right, he had people, you know what I'm saying, paying taxes to him, people working for him. Same way in America. Ain't nothing new. Same way we do in America, same way people was doing during the time of the Greeks. But you got it, King.
And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
Right.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Right, so he parted his kingdom. You know, he parted his kingdom because he finna die. So he said, "I'm gonna part my kingdom to my servants, man." Because he what he gonna do? He dead. So he finna part ways and give it to his servants. But you can keep going, King.
So Alexander reigned 12 years, then died. And his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons, and after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Right? Come on. You keep going, King.
And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus.
Yeah,
Antiochus, surname
Epiphanes,
son of Antiochus, the king who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Right. So then now we're gonna go into Antiochus, man. You know, he was a very wicked man. When we keep reading on, you're gonna see that this man, and I ain't gonna have time to get into it, but I think his second Maccabees chapter 9, it goes into his death or either his son death. I know he had a son that name was Antiochus too. One of them, it goes into the death of how they died. The Most High God gave them a horrible, horrible death, because they were so wicked. But you keep going, King.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuade many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we depart from them, we have had much sorrow."
So this, if brothers got their hand up, just stop me because I can't see it. Brothers got their hand up. Brothers need to say something. Just let me know. But this said, in those days now this is the time of the Greeks, when the Greeks was taking over and ruling. It said, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathens that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have much sorrow." So a lot of our people, the Israelites, they started seeing how what the Greeks was doing and how they was taking over countries and how they had all the riches. You had a lot of our people started cooning. Ain't nothing new under the sun. They was cooning. They're like, "Hey, bro, we need to make a covenant with these people, man, because they on top right now. We need to go over there and do what they do. We need to go join forces with them. We see them over there. Having sex with animals. We see them over there having sex with the same sex, having same-sex marriages. But we're going to go over there and join them because they're on top right now. Ain't nothing new. They sold out, man. Like how a lot of our brothers and sisters sell out in America to the white man to get more money, to get the best jobs. They sell out. They kiss the white man butt. It's the same thing. There ain't nothing new under the sun. Our people was doing the same exact thing, man. Right, but you keep going, King.
So this device pleased them well.
Mm-hmm.
Then the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after their ordinance of the heathen.
Right. Selling out.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
Right. So they built a place of exercise, man, in Jerusalem. Because there was a custom. That's why, a lot of times when you look at these workout gyms, that's based off the Greeks. That's why when you go in there, women barely have clothes on, right? They barely had them small shorts on. They almost naked. The men almost be naked. They got them shorts, the short shirts on, the shorts. They shorts be shorter than the women's. But that goes back to the time of the Greeks, man. So they built an exercise facility or a gym in Jerusalem in honor of the custom of the Greeks. Because the Greeks were always strong built men because that's all they did was work out. That's all they knew how to do is work out. Ain't nothing new under the sun. You see the so-called white man, when you go in them gyms, they the ones that be in there, drinking all the muscle milk, the steroids, they be pumping their stuff up, trying to go extra hard in the gym. They got that kind of go back to their forefathers. But you can go back, King. I'm gonna keep going.
And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief.
Right. So it's like they sold out to the point where they forsook the covenant. They forsook the commandment. They forsook the commandments, the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us to keep as Israelites. They forsook that. They're like, to hell with that. We're going to do what you say. To hell what the Most High God told us to do. We're going to follow you. We're going to follow you, Antiochus. Whatever you want us to do, we're going to do it. If you want us to kill our own people, we're going to do it. If you want us to have sex with animals, we're going to do it. We're going to do whatever you want us to do. That's the mindset that some of our people had. The Bible called them wicked men because they turned on their people. Sold out, man, for a couple dollars, for a couple fame. But you keep going, King.
Now, when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt that he might have the dominion of 2 realms.
So now he like, man, I need more. This ain't enough. I'm finna reign over Egypt. I'm finna take over Egypt, man. So these Egyptology brothers, these brothers that believe they're Egyptians, talking about the walls of Egypt and the pyramids. And the so-called white man went in there too. He whitewashed everything. He stole everything in there too. So don't be thinking that he didn't go in there and everything straight and he ain't mess with nothing and everything. No, the so-called white man went into Egypt and took everything out of Egypt and stole stuff from Egypt too. So keep going, King.
Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death.
Right. So he fled, and he seen the army, he seen the might that Antiochus was coming with. So he didn't even want to put up a fight. He just got up out of there and fled, man. We keep going, King.
Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof.
He stole everything they had in there, man. The gold, the riches, the paintings, the books, everything that was in Egypt. He took everything, spoiled everything. He robbed.
Hey, Salakia, King. Can I get a precept real quick?
Con.
So this is so Ptolemy and Antiochus, they were supposed to be on the same team, man. This shows you the greed of Esau, right? Let me pull this in Obadiah real quick, man. This shows you the greed of this people, man. They don't even rule over their own people the right way. Obadiah, and let me read. Could you read verse 5, please?
Verse number 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
All right, so this is like the Most High. Like, look, normal thieves, they gonna steal till they had enough. These people so wicked that they steal from their own people. They never get enough. They'll never get enough. Right? Read verse 6, please.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Right, and he tried to hide his hidden things by taking, like the brother bringing out, by taking the Maccabees, the Apocrypha out of the Bible. But we got it in these last days, right? The things of Esau being searched out. But you got it, King. I you.
That's right, man. Hey, Esau, he'll steal from his own people, man, just to get the spoils, just to get the riches and the wealth, to get the power. He'll do anything to get that power, man, and that wealth. And we see it in the time of the Greeks, which is like the brother was just saying, which is one reason why they took the Apocrypha out the Bible. They couldn't let you know about this Greek captivity. They couldn't let you read this because in the schools they teach you that the Greeks was this wonderful people. But the Bible gonna say otherwise. So they thinking that that's gonna cause confusion. Because the Bible's speaking down on the Greeks. But we teaching them that the Greeks were these wonderful people. So what the so-called white man did, he took the Apocrypha out of the Bible and tried to hide this. But through the spirit and power of the Most High God, he allowed us to have this book back. But you got it, King.
And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in the 143rd year and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
So now he coming to the children of God. Right now he coming to the Holy Land, man. He coming to mess with us. He like, now I'm finna go get the children of Israel. I'm finna go to Jerusalem with a great multitude. That's what the so-called white man do. He always try to come with a great multitude, man, because they know, just like in today's time, they know they can't beat us one-on-one. So what they try to do, they try to come with 4 or 5 people, 6 people. They try to jump you. They try to fight unfair. They bring a gun to the fight or a knife. They always came with great multitudes. Even when I encourage brothers and sisters to hop in 1st and 2nd Maccabees if you haven't yet. They always outnumber Israel. They always outnumbered us in the time of these wars. It came to the point where we was beating them, and they had to go get more men during the battle. They had to go get more men on their side to try to help them overcome us. So that's how the so-called white man come. If he finna come and try to take over something that you got, he gonna get a great multitude with him to help him do that. And that's how he did when he came to Jerusalem. But you keep going, King.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof.
Right, so he came in proud. You know this so-called white man. He came in proud with his neck up high. Right, came in smiling. He probably was licking his lips. Like, I'm finna do this. I'm finna take this. I want y'all to take this. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have this. He came in there proud. He took away the golden altar, the candlestick of lights, and all the vesture. He done took the menorah, right? He came in taking all the gold, all the riches that we had. He just came in there, man. Right, keep going, King.
And the table of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers, to get the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off.
So he came into the temple, man. And this is what we gotta think about, bro. And it's gonna, when you keep reading on, he gonna do something. They're gonna do something so vile and so wicked. You gotta think about this. They doing this to the Most High God too, man. Not only is they doing this to us when they coming into our temple and coming into Jerusalem and doing all, taking this stuff, they taking the stuff that's important to the Most High God. Things that we honor, things that we had to honor the Most High God, that the Most High God loved. The so-called white man came in there and stole these things, bro. He came in and stole these things that we had to honor the Most High God. So don't think that the Most High God forgot about this. Don't think the Most High God still not angry about this. He's still upset about this, man. Keep going, King.
He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also, he took the hidden treasures which he found.
Right.
And when he had taken away all, and he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great matter and spoken very proudly.
So, after he came in, and this is wicked. You come into a land, you know what I'm saying, full of people. You come in, you steal everything, you rape, rob, and murder, which is nothing new under the sun. Throughout history, what the so-called white man did. He did the same thing. He come into a land, he steal everything, he rape people, and then he walk off, he leave proudly with all our stuff like it's his. He did the same exact thing. He said after he took everything away that we had, right after he really, he left us with nothing, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoke very proud. He was spoken proud. We don't know what he said. He probably like, man, you should have seen how so-and-so, you should have seen them crying. You should have seen their faces when we went there and stole their stuff. And he was talking very, very proud, man. And I want brothers and sisters, when we get into this, when we reading this story on First Maccabees, I want y'all to picture yourself in this time, because our people, this is real. This ain't no fairy tale. This is real history that happened to our people, bro. So when we reading this, I want y'all to picture our people during this time, because this was our people going through this stuff, man. So just picture in your mind how they was feeling. Just picture their faces, how they was looking when this stuff was taking place. But keep going, King.
Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel in every place where they were.
Right. So it was a great mourning in the land, man. It was crying. People was, screaming. People probably was, yelling. It was a sad time in Israel, man, because that's the Holy Land, right? That's the most holiest place on the earth. And just to see the so-called Greeks come in there, man, and steal everything, that you had, it's like that's a time of mourning, man. People probably put sackcloth on. Brothers probably was fasting. It was a sad time in Israel, bro. But you keep going, King.
So that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed.
Right. So it said this also gonna happen again. The stuff that we gonna read about in First Maccabees chapter 1, this is gonna happen all over again in our time in America. Same way what the so-called white man did to us during the time of the Greeks, it's gonna happen again when he do it again in America. He the same person. It said that the princes and the elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble. So the princes and the elders, they was crying. And you probably had people that had never seen the elders cry before. You probably had some people never seen the princes cry before, but they cried in that day. And the virgins and young men were made feeble. They was made weak, man. And it said, and the beauty of women was changed. So even the beauty of our women was changed. They didn't have that they nice attire on. They nice attire on. They didn't smell the best, right? They didn't have that smile on their face. They wasn't glowing like they used to be, right? Their face wasn't, glowing. Their whole beauty was changed, man, because the so-called white man, he came in there and stole everything. But you got it, King.
Every bridegroom took up limitation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Right.
And
so it's you keep going.
And after,
Salaki, King. Read 28 again, my bad.
Oh, you all right? The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Right. So the house of Jacob was covered with confusion, man. People weren't in their right mind when all this stuff was happening. It was confusing, like, dang, what happened? How we let this happen? What's going on? Is they coming back? It was a lot of confusion going on. People was probably walking around Jerusalem, limping with a broke arm. Hey, it was a lot of stuff going on in our land, man. A lot of stuff. But you can keep going, King.
Salaki.
Go ahead, King.
Say too, and y'all gotta think, you gotta understand when they say we was covered with confusion. Remember earlier it said wicked men went out from Israel and made covenants with the heathen. So you gotta understand, people looking like what's going on. Some of Israel was they was in agreement with the stuff that was going on, right? You probably had priests that was in agreement with it, some of the elders. A lot of the men that was probably being looked up to was probably went to the other side. And so you got confusion. People don't know what they should do, right? But you got it, King. How you?
Right, man. A lot of confusion, man, going on in our homeland. But you keep going, King.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Right, so now they finna tax us. This is so-called white man. He did the same thing in America. And I was talking about this at camp yesterday. I mean, was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. You gonna come into our homeland, rape, rob, and murder, steal everything we got. You gonna leave us with nothing. Then you gonna try to send people in to come in and tax us. Like how you gonna tax us like that? You left us with nothing, and then you gonna make us pay taxes, pay tribute. But read it again, King. Read it again.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
And they go that great multitude again. He always coming in deep with a great multitude. Because Esau like a bully, man. The so-called white man, he like a bully. When he do something, like we just read in Obadiah 1 and 5, when the so-called white man finna steal something, or when he finna take something, he a bully. He gonna take all of it. He not gonna leave you nothing. He ain't gonna leave you no shoes. He ain't gonna leave you no clothes. He ain't gonna leave you no toothbrush. He ain't gonna leave you no toothpaste. He ain't gonna leave you no deodorant. He ain't gonna leave you no watch. He ain't gonna leave you no dollar. He taking everything you got. And he gonna laugh in your face while he doing it. But yeah, they brought tribute, man. They came in, be like, hey, we all gonna pay y'all finna tax. We gonna tax y'all, man. That's what he was on. But you got it, King.
And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him presents, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel.
Right, hold up, stop right there, King. Hold that. Can you give me Psalms 55 and 21? Because he came in speaking peacefully. He probably came in talking about, I'm sorry what my people did to your people 2 years ago. I'm sorry that we stole everything. What the so-called white man loves saying? We coming in peace. We don't want to war with y'all no more. That's what he was saying. Those are things that he was saying. What the Bible said. You can read it, King.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn with swords.
Right. So the Bible said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. We know how smooth butter is, but it said, well, war is in his heart. We know this is talking about the so-called white man. It don't have to say Esau in this text. It don't have to say the so-called white man. We know through the spirit that this is talking about the so-called white man, because all throughout history, he came at our people talking smooth words, because that's the only way that he gonna really be able to overcome us. If he come deceitfully, if he come crouching down, acting like he cool with us. What he did to our Native American brothers and sisters. He came over here to this land, started talking peacefully. I don't want no war. I just want you to teach me your ways and teach me how to survive here. I'm all peace. Me and my people, we come in peace. That's what he said. We come in peace. And guess what? As soon as our so-called Native American brothers and sisters, tribe of Gad, tribe of Reuben, as soon as they put their guard down, what the so-called white man did, he stabbed him in the back. And we had a whole day called Thanksgiving in honor of that. Right? So the Bible said the so-called white man, his words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. The whole time he came back to our people, he already had the mindset of we finna take over this. But be smart, because the so-called white man know that he can't beat us. He can't beat us on one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat. So he got to be deceiving. He got to fool us to make us put our guard down and soften our heart towards him so he can stab us in the back. That's how the so-called white man been doing all throughout history. And that's how he done won all these wars. But you got it, King. You go back to matter of fact, give me that Sirach 12 and 10. Because it's gonna say it again in another place in the Bible, which was another book that was taken out of the Bible.
Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So the Bible telling you, don't never trust your enemy. Don't never trust your enemy. It don't matter. You got to understand. That's why a lot of our people get so finessed by the so-called white man, because they don't even realize that that's their enemy. Christianity done messed our people up so much to the point where they think their only enemy is Satan. But you have enemies in the flesh as well too, that hate your guts, that want to kill you, that don't care nothing about you and your people. They don't care nothing about you. And we got to understand, first we understand who our enemy is. And once we understand who our enemy is, we know not to trust this man. We know what this man is capable of doing. He might come talking all peacefully, but we know not to fall for that. We know not to, be buddy with him, trying to go out to eat with him after work, inviting him to our house, having kickbacks with him. We know not to do that we know not to get that comfortable with him, because if we get that comfortable with him, he liable to stab me in the back. He liable to take my social security number, right? He liable to try to snatch your woman from you, man. Getting close to you. Now he trying to be you. He's studying you. He getting close to you to try to study you and see how you move, how you talk. Now he talking like you. Now he dressing like you. Now he acting like you. That's the so-called white man. But get verse 11, King.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Right. So it said, though he humble himself, and the so-called white man, he may humble himself to you. Right. He might open the door for you. Hey, a lot of times when the so-called white man, he'll hold the door for you, or the white woman may hold the door for you. She might say, excuse me. Right. She might say, I love you. Then that's when our people start thinking, well, not all white people are bad. He held the door for me. He gave me $2, for me to get a snack at work. So all of them not bad. The Bible said, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed. Mean pay attention. When the so-called white man started crouching down and trying to be humble, that's when you need to pay more attention to him. That's when you need to, because he's trying to be sneaky. It's something that he's trying to get out of you, that he's trying to be slick by doing it. So he said, take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. So you're going to see throughout time that he the same wicked man. And it always comes out of them, man. That racism going to always come out. I get them mad enough, man. Get the so-called white man or white woman mad enough, they going to call you a nigga. Hey, my uncle, he dated a white woman. He been dating this white woman for like 12 plus years. And he said, still, when he get her mad and she get upset, she call him a nigga. And they've been married for 12 years. So they wickedness gonna show. And they might not show towards you, but it's gonna be the little things that they say. Rather you with them, you say you go out to eat with them, right? And then they might say something about your people. Oh, he over there. Them black people are always loud. They don't have no manners. And it's gonna be slick stuff that they gonna say, and you gonna catch and be like, dang, if you think of them like that, you think of me like that, because that's my people. Or black people are always loud. Right? They always stealing. And you gonna catch the little things. Because they're showing you that rust have not been wiped. That rust have not been altogether wiped away. It's still in them. It's a bloodline. It's through their seed line. It's in them, man. Right? That racism is in them. But you can keep going, King.
Go on, verse number 12.
Yeah.
Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
Right. So he said, don't even let this man sit by you. Because once he sit by you, he planning how to overthrow you. And the so-called white man, he thinking down the line. He ain't even thinking about in this time right now. He thinking about the time about 10 years down the line when you dead, what he gonna do with your business. just say you got a business, right? And just say you got you build houses, right? You got a real estate. And Esau work for you. His mind, he getting comfortable with you. It ain't because he like you. It's because when you die, he want to be the first one that in your spot to get the benefits. He think you gonna give him benefits. So he already thinking what he gonna do with your real estate business. And you still alive. You ain't even dead yet. And he thinking about the things he gonna do with your business. He thinking on how to overthrow you, man. So he said he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand. So don't let him sit at your right. Don't let him sit at your right hand, man. Because he always gonna be scheming. It's always gonna be something in him. It's always gonna be something in him that's gonna be hating or have an evil eye towards you. That jealousy gonna kick in. Right? Know what I'm saying? He always gonna feel like he above you. That's why you have some of these trailer trash white people that's trailer trash, but in their heart, in their mind, they still feel like they better than us. They still feel like you can have a trailer trash white person, he still feel like he better than LeBron James or something like that. Because he look at LeBron James like a nigga. But you know what I'm saying? But they always feel like they always gonna feel like they better than us. No matter what, no matter how much money we got, no matter what car we drive, no matter what house we got, they gonna always feel like I'm better than that nigga. I'm still white, right? He black and I'm white. It don't matter. I still got my white privilege. I still can go get a loan and he can't. So that's what they always gonna feel. But you can go back to the book, First Maccabees King.
Well,
who is that? I think we was at 29 or we was at 30. We was at 30.
Okay. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel.
Huh?
And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
So not only did he take the spoils of the city, he set it on fire. He set the Holy Land on fire. and pulled down the houses and walls there over every side. So the so-called white man, he came with vengeance. It was personal to him, man, because he still got that hatred in him from the time of Jacob and Esau. From the time we was in the womb and the time going back to the birthright situation, he still got that hatred in his heart, in his, in his soul. So that's why it was personal to him to come into our city and burn everything down, and take the houses, and take all the spoils, and leave us with nothing. That was personal to him, even to this day. The so-called everything be personal to the so-called white man. That's why they hate us so much. Because that birthright situation in Genesis 25. Wait, no, that wasn't Genesis 25. Genesis 25 going into when they was in the womb, even going back to when they was in the womb. It's a perpetual hatred. Can you give me Amos 1 and 11? They got a perpetual hatred forever to us.
Amos chapter 1 verse 11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
So it says anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So Esau, he kept his wrath forever. So it's a generational thing. Like I was just saying earlier, it's passed down from generation to generation. That hate, that's why it's gonna always be racism. It's never gonna end. They always gonna hate us. Why is that? Because that race, that hatred is perpetual. It's forever. That wrath is forever. It's gonna always be passed down from generation to generation of them, from their people. And the Bible told you that. So you have some people that be like, well, they changed. Not all of them like that. The Bible just said that they kept their wrath forever, and their anger did tear perpetually, meaning forever, everlasting. Right? So you can go back, to the I just want to bring that out, King.
And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle.
Right. So the so-called white man, he took our women. So the sister that's on the call, right? If we was all on the time of the Greeks, during the time of the Greeks right now, back in this time right now, the men, they would have killed us off, and you women and the children, they would have took y'all captives, man. They would have tried to take y'all captives as slaves, man. And they possessed the cattle. And cattle is worth a lot of money, bro. They took our cattle. That's how we made our money. See us, the so-called white man, they got their so-called land. They own land here in America, and they got all the cattle, all these cattle that's in their land. That's our stuff still, man. That's the things that we had. That's where the so-called white man get his money from, the cattle. So the white man knew we need to take these cattle that they got, because we can make money off these cattle. Because you think about it, you got a chicken, right? What chickens have? Eggs. And you buy eggs, right? In the stores, you buy eggs. So if you got a farm or a farm full of eggs and cattle and ox and cows and things like that, that's how you gonna make your money. That's how you gonna work, because you can use some of these animals for work. So you know what I'm saying? So they took the things that we use to work and make our money with, and they also took our women and children as captives. You gotta understand this, man. The Greeks, like I was saying, are nasty people. So who knows exactly what they was doing with our women and children? Matter of fact, I got a precept on that. Can you give me I know what they was doing. Can we give me I think it's Joel chapter 3. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Let me see what I want.
Verse 8.
Yeah, Joel 3 and 3.
3 come.
Think that what yeah.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
right? So we know what they was doing with the men when they were taking the children. They was using the boys as harlots, man. I want y'all to watch this movie. It's this movie on YouTube. It's free on YouTube. It's called Goodbye Uncle Tom. It's called Goodbye Uncle Tom. It's on YouTube, and that's one of the out of all the slave movies, I think that's the one that shows you it's the closest to exactly how slavery was. It ain't watered down like 12 Years a Slave and Django and stuff. It ain't watered down like that. This movie shows you how slavery more than likely was. Yeah, slavery might have still been worse than that movie, but it showed you a visual of how bad slavery was. They was taking the little boys as hard as they was putting glitter on them, playing with them. You know what I'm saying? All type of stuff, man. And they said they sold a girl for wine. They sold our children for wine. Our little girls, they sold them for a bottle of wine. That's like somebody selling your daughter for some Mogan David, or selling your daughter for some Taylor Port or some Henny. That's what they sold our daughters for wine. It ain't nothing new under the sun. They was doing that back in the time of the Greeks. So you can go back to it, King. Yeah, but the movie called Goodbye Uncle Tom. If brothers and sisters want to check it out, man. Good movie.
Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them.
Right, so they made a strong wall in our homeland. They made a strong wall with a mighty tower, basically saying, "Hey, we're gonna make this big, so nobody won't try to come in. We're gonna protect this city. It's like they came in and took over like it's theirs. Like they treating it like it's really there. We're gonna make a big wall. That's the so-called white man for you, man. Like nothing new. Gentrification. He'll come in, and the place where all the black people at. He'll come in, move them out, high the prices, right, and build anything he want to where we stand at. The same thing the so-called white man did right here. It's in his blood to be a devil, to be a demon. This demon stuff right here. But you keep going, King.
And they put therein a simple nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
Mm-hmm.
They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare.
Right.
For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it.
Right, so they shedded innocent blood on our sanctuary, man. Innocent blood. The people could have been, it didn't say how old they was. They probably done killed 80-year-old men, 30-year-old women, 10-year-old boys, 10-year-old girls. It said they shedded innocent blood on the sanctuary, man. Killing animals. These are nasty people, man. What it just said in verse 34? A sinful nation, wicked men. So they didn't have no order, basically. They didn't have no right from wrong. It was just, we gonna do this and that's it. But you can keep going, King.
Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her.
So it said, hey, it got so bad to the point where a lot of our people fled. They're like, man, we can't be here no more, bro. We can't live like this. So they fled and left. And it said it was made a habitation of strangers. So you probably had strange people walking around Jerusalem, out of place, didn't know what was going on. People just coming in our homeland, just coming in. While we leaving, you got strangers coming in, setting up, out of place. They didn't know what was going on, man. Setting up shop in our homeland. Probably was speaking all type of crazy language, doing all type. You know how them people in them other countries, they culture be crazy. Like Africans, they put the little rings in their mouth. with the ring, them big old rings in their ears and they mark their skin. You probably had them coming in Jerusalem, man, just walking around with ashy legs. You know, they leg is always ashy. They have ashy legs, walking around with no shoes on, dancing. And that was the strangers that was coming in. It was out of place. It was strange. Jerusalem wasn't that place like it used to be. But you got it, Ken.
Can I make a comment real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, you even see that nowadays. Like when you look up like Jerusalem, either a picture or you just watch a video. All you see is just strange people just walking in the land.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Strange people walking around in the land. It don't look right. Like it like why you even like why you even here? Like you don't fit.
That's
The
right.
heathen just walking around doing all type of stuff, man. What brother said? Brother said something.
Yeah, he said so. Let me go back and look. He said, heathen, man.
He probably had people jumping around, hitting flips, hitting cartwheels, just all type of crazy stuff, man. Like out of place.
Man, I think I seen the video. I see the video. It was recent, like just like it was like a man. He was like on a tour site. He was like touring the city. I think it wasn't from Jerusalem, but he had like the head camera. Man, everywhere you just see it's just like just crazy things. People just setting up in the city.
Setting up, yeah, man. I'm telling you, probably had folks just screaming, like just screaming on top of their lungs. And you had probably like woo, people doing all stuff like that, crazy stuff, man, out of place. But you got it, King. Playing satanic music.
That's right.
Doing magic, doing cards. Pick a card, any card. All type of stuff. Somebody dropped the precept.
2 Kings 17:24.
I'll bring that up, King.
But that's madness, man.
And America the same way though.
Right.
Strange, all type of, you can do whatever you want to do in America. You probably had men coming in Jerusalem, men dressed up as women.
Right. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Kutha. It says Kutha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from Ava and from Hamad.
Yeah.
From Sifar.
Savarvum.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with that. And placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof.
Right. So it said the king of Asia brought men from Babylon and from Chuthab and from Ava and from Hamath and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. So they set other nations in our place besides the children of Israel, man. So like what just happened in the time of the Greeks, what we were just talking about, you never know the things that you would have seen. If you born in Jerusalem, if you born and raised in Jerusalem, and you leave Jerusalem, and just imagine them strangers come in and you come back to Jerusalem about 3 years later. Just imagine how the people were looking at Jerusalem. And probably was confounded to see the things that was going on in Jerusalem. I'm telling you, man, the Greeks were some crazy people, bro. It's some weirdos, some freaks. But you can go back to First Maccabees, King.
Let's see, yeah, verse 39. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning. Her Sabbaths into reproach. Her honor into contempt.
Right, man. So it was bad, man. It wasn't like how the feast days be. Israel turned up for the feast days. Israel had some wine in the cup. Israel was dancing. Israel listening to music. People having fun. People smiling. People laughing. But all that changed. It said them feast days wasn't the same. It turned into mourning. People crying. People sad. People frowning. The Sabbath days, it said her Sabbath into reproach, her honor into contempt. So even the Sabbath days, wasn't the same. You had some people, some people probably forgot about the Sabbath day. People probably was keeping the Sabbath day, but they wasn't keeping it joyfully. Right? It was a mourning day. It turned into a mourning day, and the Sabbath wasn't supposed to be like that. The Sabbath was supposed to be a happy day, a relaxed day. Like you don't gotta work. But the Greeks probably had some of our people working on the Sabbath day, doing all type of stuff on the Sabbath day. But you got it, King.
As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
So now you can't tell me this is not America. You can't tell me this is not the same so-called white man. This man, King Antiochus, said, he wrote to the whole kingdom, everybody gonna be one people. What do America push? One nation under God. One people. And justice for all. So even in the other captivities that we went through throughout history, these other kings never made us become one people. We're still in captivity being Israelites. We were still in captivity knowing that we was Israelites and knowing about our laws. But the so-called white man, he the only person that decided, let's all be one people. Let's all become one. It ain't nothing new. It's the same so-called white man. He got the same mindset that he had back during this time of the Greeks. He the same person. We keep going, King.
And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
And really, this was an attack to the Israelites, because he really was trying to make us leave our law, because every other nation didn't have no laws, right? So it was really coming down to the Israelites. He was like, hey, I want y'all to leave y'all law. We're gonna become one people. Meaning, if we become one people, y'all can't keep no Sabbath day. Y'all can't keep no Feast of Tabernacles. Y'all can't keep no Day of Atonement. Y'all can't do that. We becoming one people, meaning you have to do what I say. We're gonna be on one. We're gonna keep Christmas. What the so-called white man doing now? We're gonna keep Christmas. We're gonna keep Thanksgiving. We're gonna keep Easter now. Forget about them days that you forget about Passover. We're gonna forget about that. We're gonna keep Christmas now. That's so-called white man. But you keep going, King.
Yeah. Many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
So you had a lot of our people, man. A lot of our people consented to the religion. A lot of our people like, okay, we'll do it. You want us to stop keeping our laws? We're going to stop keeping these commandments. You want us to take these fringes off and put on a little diaper that y'all be wearing, Greeks? I'll take my fringes off and I'll put on a little diaper. Right? A lot of our people stopped keeping these commandments and got down with the Greeks. It said they sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. So these would be that's just like a lot of our people with Christianity. A lot of our people, the so-called white man, he beat Christianity into us, bro. We didn't come over here talking about no Christianity and white Jesus. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters didn't come over here talking about no Catholic, you know what I'm saying, and getting bound down to Virgin Mary and stuff like that. That's what the so-called white man put on them. So a lot of our people got down with that and said, we gonna forget about that. Y'all on top right now, right? Y'all ruling right now. So we gonna get down with y'all. So we gonna sacrifice to these idols. We know these idols ain't real, but we want to be known as Greeks. We want the fame. We want to be part of y'all. Y'all winning right now. We want to be part of y'all. So we're gonna sacrifice to y'all idols. We're gonna profane the Sabbath day. What y'all want us to do? Y'all want us to work? Y'all want us to work on the Sabbath day? We'll work on the Sabbath day. What y'all want us to go wrestling on the Sabbath day? Want us to work out with y'all? We'll work out on the Sabbath day. What y'all want us to do? Y'all want us to ply y'all fields? Y'all want us to go clean y'all house up on the Sabbath day? We'll do it. As long as y'all call us Greeks, as long as we can be part of y'all and y'all can save us and protect us. That's what our people was thinking, man. They had that mindset of going on a winning team right now, as I should say. But you keep going, King.
For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Right. And so he sent letters unto Jerusalem, to our people, to Judah. And he sent the letters like, hey, you never know what it said. Hey, this King Antiochus. hey, I'm making the people one people, and I need y'all to get down with this. Get down with it or die. He writing the letter, get down with it or die. Y'all have to keep my laws and commandments now. And if y'all do this, y'all will be known as Greeks. We'll give y'all gold. We'll give y'all riches. We'll give y'all whatever y'all want to do. Just get down with this world. And that's the same thing that happened to, if y'all watch the movie 300, I forgot the little ugly thing on 300. It was that little ugly beast that wanted to get down with, I forgot bro name. What the dude name was on 300? King Leonidas? What his name was? Leonidas?
Yeah, Leonidas.
Leonidas. So that little ugly beast, he had wanted to get down with Leonidas, but Leonidas didn't want him to get down with him because I mean, what he was gonna do? He couldn't fight. He wasn't gonna be able to protect nothing. So he ended up going to I think it was the Persians, the king of the Persians, and it was a scene on there when the ugly beast, he went inside the little temple where the king was, and you had the women in there dancing naked, and you seeing all the nice things that's in there, and the king basically telling him, if you get down with me, if you do what I say and serve me, you can have all this. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Even when you look into the industry, the music industry, when these rappers be selling their soul, what the so-called white man tell them? You can have the whole world. You can have the riches. You can have the wealth. Just bow down and serve me. Even during the time of when Yahweh was fasting 40 days and 40 nights, Satan came to him. What Satan said to him? You can have the whole world. You can have this if you serve me. Ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new, man. But you can keep going, King.
Lock it, King.
Go ahead.
Let me get a precept real quick, man, because this, like, even though the letter went out, man, you had Israel. They the ones who went over there, they wanted to do it anyway, right? Let me get this in Proverbs chapter 12 and verse. Let's read verse 26.
The righteous is more exalted than his neighbor, but the way wicked seduces them.
Right. So the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. Why? Because we keep the laws of the Most High. That's what separates us and sits us on high. It says, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. It's always seducing because sin is pleasurable. So you got to keep in mind, keeping the laws of the Most High is going to make you have discipline. But Israel seeing these heathen, they doing orgies, they doing all manner of madness, eating whatever they want to eat, right? That seduced them. So when the king sent the letters, the ones who already were seduced, they had it in their mind to go over to the other side already. Those are the ones who folded, right? So that's an example for us, man. But you got it, King.
Right. You probably had a lot of them, the ones that sold out. They probably were looking at the ones that did sell out. They probably were looking at them crazy, like, dang, bro, you better come over here, bro. But they gonna kill you, bro. Bro, you better come over. You crazy, bro. They gonna kill you. Come over here so you can be protected. That's how they were talking. That's the mindset that they had, man. They were looking at our people that were trying to keep the laws as crazy. Like, you gonna lose your life. Think about your kids. You want your kids to die, they gonna kill your kids. You might well come over there and serve them. That's that wickedness of our people. That's what the Bible said. 2/3 of our people are gonna die, bro. 2/3 of our people is gonna die because of this. This the same spirit on the earth. The same spirit that our people had going and selling out and getting down with the so-called white man. It's the same spirit that they got now. And when all hell break loose and the so-called white man say, bow down to me and serve me and get down with this new world order, a lot of our people gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get down with it. Whatever you want me to do, let me eat some pork, I eat some pork. I'll break the Sabbath day. I start reading the Bible. I'll burn my Bible for you. That's what a lot of our people gonna be saying. Ain't nothing new under the sun. These same accounts that we reading. Don't think that this is not gonna happen again. This is coming back to America and around the world. The same things. We're gonna get tested the same way that our people got tested on the time of the Greeks. But you can keep going, King.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days.
So this is so wicked. Like, I want y'all to just think about this. This man is telling us to profane, and he know that these are important days. This how you know the so-called white man is wicked. He don't care nothing about us. He know that these are important days to us. He know that we keep these. He know that we keep these days to the T. How you gonna write a letter telling us that we can't keep our traditions no more? How you gonna tell us that we can't keep our high holy days no more? Who are you to tell us that? Who are you to tell me I can't keep the Sabbath day no more? Who are you to tell me I can't do no burnt offerings no more to my God? Sacrifice drink offerings to my God. How you gonna tell me I can't keep feast of death? How you gonna tell me I can't keep tabernacles no more? How you gonna tell me I can't keep Day of Atonement, Passover? How you gonna tell me I can't keep these things? Who are you? You're not the Most High God. But that's the pride of the so-called white man. It's the pride in him. It's that spirit in him of pride to feel like he can do whatever he want to do and tell you whatever he want to tell you and talk to you any type of way. But you got it, King.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
Mm-hmm.
Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
So start right here. So he said, what y'all need to do is set up altars and groves and chapels of idols. So we're gonna bring idols in here now. We're gonna bring statues of naked men. I'm telling you, you look up these statues of the Greeks, man. Them statues, they be naked. They be naked. I seen a crazy picture of a Greek statue, man. He was wrestling a goat, and he was naked. He was wrestling a goat naked, man. These men be naked. Why do you see most of these statues of these men? Are they always naked? Always naked. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of our people want to get down with this. Even when you watch the movie of 300, you know on 300 when the dude was wrestling with his son and they only had the little drawers on. Back in the time of the Greeks, they didn't have nothing on. They didn't have no underwear. They didn't have no shorts on when they wrestled. These men did everything naked. They walked around naked. You know, they played sports naked. Everything naked. Folly, man. Got little kids around the man, around that statue. But you keep going. Oh, no. He said, and sacrifice swine flesh and unclean beasts. So now, these people sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts to the Most High God. You gotta think about this. These sacrifices that we did go to the Most High God. And the sacrifices that we did please the Most High God. But just imagine these people sacrificing swine's flesh and unclean beasts. That's beyond wicked. We know they had swine flesh, but it also say unclean beasts. They probably was sacrificing monkeys. They probably was sacrificing raccoon on the altar to the swine. Sacrifice on the altar. They probably had some squirrel on there, some possum on there, what else? Rats on there. They probably was doing you don't know what they were sacrificing to the altar. So they mocking the Most High God. So that's how you know the Most High God, he gonna catch up with them. Because he thinking about the Most High God, thinking like, not only did you rob my people and torture my people, but you also did me wrong. You had me smelling swine's flesh and unclean beasts. All right, I'm telling you, man. Keep going, King. Keep going.
That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
Profanation. Profanation by mistake. But yeah, so it said they should also leave their children uncircumcised. So basically the whole mindset of the so-called white man, even to this day, his job is to try to keep us away from our laws. Whatever the Most High God told us to do, he telling us not to do. He telling you to leave your children uncircumcised. Don't circumcise those children. Leave them uncircumcised. And make their soul abundant with all men of uncleanness. Give them some pork. I want you, if I want them to eat pork, this is what the so-called white man probably saying. I want them to eat pork every day. We're going to have pork on the menu every day. And I want to see your child eating it. I don't want to see you try to throw the pork away and give him some chicken. No, I want him to eat some pork. I want him to eat them crab legs. I want to eat that possum. So the so-called white man, he didn't even care about the kids. He had our kids doing all manner of uncleanness. You don't know what he had our kids doing. But you keep going, King.
To the end, they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
Right? So at the end, his whole mindset was, hey, they gonna forget their law. Because the white man know when we keeping our laws and commandments, he already know when we keeping our laws and commandments that we can't be touched. He know that we are unstoppable if we keep our commandments. So his job is to stop us from not keeping them. So he can always be above us. He said that they might forget their laws. And what happened? We forgot our laws. Can you give me Jeremiah 17:4? So what he wanted to happen, it happened, man. He wanted us to forget our laws. Throughout history, we forgot them.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I'll cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Right. So the Bible said, hey man, we was gonna discontinue from our heritage, right? Because we wasn't getting taught our law. We was taught that the law was done away with. We was taught that Christ came to fulfill the law. We weren't taught that we was Israelites. We didn't know nothing about no Sabbath day. So we had discontinued from our heritage. We forgot everything. And what happened? We started following the so-called white man traditions. We started following Christmas. We started following Thanksgiving. We started following Valentine's Day. We started following New Year's. We started following birthdays. We started following St. Patrick's Day. We started following all these other traditions besides ours because that's what the so-called white man wanted. And the same thing he doing in 2023. But you can go back, King.
And whoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
So he said, now he said, all right, if y'all don't want to do what I say, you gonna die. It ain't no choice. It ain't no, I want to keep I'm gonna still be here, but I want to keep my commandments. No, he's saying if you don't stop keeping these commandments, you gonna die. And this coming back again to America. There's gonna come a time where the so-called white man gonna tell you to get down with the New World Order or get down with his philosophies. And if you don't want to get down with it, you're gonna get put to death. He gonna kill you. That's why a lot of our brothers and a lot of our sisters, some of them are gonna be martyrs. They're gonna have to die for this truth because they're not gonna want to get down with what the white man talking about. They're not finna eat no pork. They're not finna break the Sabbath day. They're not finna do that, so they're gonna get put to death for it. But you can keep going, King.
In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city.
So this like a martial law, man. It's like a dang, I don't know if people done seen Hunger Games. It's Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 or Part 2. It's one of them where the so-called white man just come in there and come into all the districts and he basically ruling in control of all the districts. He giving them a curfew. He telling them they got to be in the house by this time. If they're not in by this time, he gonna kill them. This is coming back to this is coming to America, man. These things that happen is coming back again to America, right? But you keep going, King.
Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit everyone that forsook the law, and so they commanded evils in the land.
Right? Read that again, my bad. Read it again.
Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land.
Right, so you have people gathered to them that forsook the law, man. You have some of our people forsook the law proudly, and you have some of our people forsook the law out of fear, which we can't be like that, man. You have our people be like, no, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. So I'm gonna forsake the law. That's a coward, man. Just like, hey, think about it now. During the time of the Greeks, our people that like I was saying earlier, they in these fraternities and sororities, they proudly call themselves Greeks. Them are the people in today's time that was happy to call themselves Greeks. That was proud to be like, okay, I'm gonna be a Greek now. I'm gonna do all the customs of the Greeks. That's why a lot of times, in the fraternities and sororities, they gotta do a lot of things that they can't speak about. Most of those things that they doing for the people that's trying to get in, most of those things that they gotta do goes back to the time of the Greeks. The things that they was doing, like I seen a video, and King, I don't know. Hello, matter of fact, I had seen the video. It was men on the back. It was on YouTube. It was men on their back, and a dude cracked egg yolk in one of the brothers' mouth, and they was passing it on to the next brother. They was passing it on to each other, man. And the last brother that was passed on to, he swallowed the egg yolk. So those are just some things. Yeah, homosexuality. It's a lot of things that our people do to get into these fraternities that goes back to the Greek custom. And that's why they can't never speak on them. They won't never tell you what they did to get in them. Because that goes back to the custom of the Greeks. And some things they can't speak on, they don't want to speak on because they feel ashamed about. A grown man, they feel ashamed about some of the things that they had to do to get into those fraternities. They had to sell out. It's like a mini Hollywood, man. When you in college and you become a Greek, it's like a little mini Hollywood. It's just like how these rappers and artists sell out. But it's just like, it's a smaller level though, but they still selling their soul. They still selling out to get these riches and fame and benefits after they graduate, right? But you can get it, King.
And drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, and burnt
You keep going, King.
And burnt incense at the doors of their houses. And
my bad. Keep going. Well, you start right there. So they set up idols. They set up idols throughout Judah, man. And just imagine you walking in there and you seeing all these idols with these naked men. Everywhere you look is an idol of a naked man. Or a naked man, and he got a naked little child holding his leg. Just imagine you seeing these idols, man. Seeing these statues. That's what they did. And get verse 56, King.
And when they had rent in pieces of the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire.
So they had our Bibles. They found our Bibles. Remember, he said we're gonna become one people. So forsake your law. So you know how America is supposed to be that God-fearing country. In God we trust. There's gonna come a time where they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna rip the Bible up. They're gonna tear the piece of the Bible up. And if they find the Bible, they're gonna burn it. If they find the Bible, they're gonna throw it in the fire. Just like if you watch the book of Eli. Eli had the only Bible left because during the time of the war, they burnt the rest of the Bibles up. They burnt all of them up. So it's the same thing they was doing in the time of the Greeks. They found the Bible on the ground, or if they seen somebody trying to cover a Bible like this, they'll take the Bible from them, they'll kill them, and they'll throw the Bible in the fire. They did not want us to keep our commandments at all. They didn't want us to keep our laws at all, man. So they burnt the Bibles. But you keep going.
And whosoever was found with any of the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
Right. So if the king caught you trying to circumcise your child, if the king caught you trying to keep the Sabbath day, if he caught you resting, that's wicked. If he caught you resting on the Sabbath day, he would kill you. That's what he was doing. But you keep going, King.
Thus did they, by their authority, unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 5th and 20th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of Yahweh. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them.
Right. So you had mighty women and men too, but you had mighty women that was like, man, you ain't finna stop me from keeping my laws. I'm finna circumcise my child. You're not finna stop me from keeping these commandments. So you had some warriors of our people too, as well as sellouts. Verse 61 said they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. So they hung the infants about the neck. That's wicked. The so-called white man hung the infants, the little children, by their necks because they were sacrificed. I mean, because they was circumcised. So you had the so-called white man. In order for the so-called white man to know if they circumcised or not, he was up there pulling down their diapers, checking to see if they circumcised. He was making grown men pour down their pants to see if did they circumcise themselves or they circumcised. He was doing all type of things like this. He was slaying our women for keeping the commandments. So not only is men gonna have to die, some of our women gonna have to die as well too for keeping these commandments. It's all part of it, man. It's all part of drinking that cup that Yahweh Shah drunk. We might have to die for this truth, but you got it, King.
Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was very great wrath upon Israel.
Right. So you have a lot of our people talking about, well, it's just pork. Pork ain't that bad. It's just some meat. But you had our people literally got risk. Yeah, our people really died for not trying to eat pork. A lot of our people died for not eating them crab legs that you say is just a crab leg. It's just a shrimp. It's just a lobster. But our women and our men literally said, you're going to have to kill me before I eat this meat, before I eat this crab leg. Because they're like, I'm not finna profane the Holy Covenant. I'm not finna break Leviticus chapter 11 in verse 7 on down. You're not finna have me eat no pork. Because I know in my Holy Covenant in the law that the Most High God told me not to eat that because that's an abomination. So I'm not finna eat it. So they was put to death. And there was very great wrath upon Israel, man. So that's the end of First Maccabees chapter 1. Brothers and sisters, read, if you on your time, read chapter 2. That goes into the Maccabees brothers and how they came in and stepped in and fought for their people. And when you go to chapter 4, it talks about the Feast of Dedication and why we celebrate it. That goes into chapter 4. It talks about the Feast of Dedication, why we celebrate it. What they did to to get there and things like that. So definitely read chapter 4, man. It goes to the Feast Dedication. Chapter 2 goes to the Maccabees brothers, man. But that's my time. So, I yield on that, man.
Can I get a little
Come on.
I get on what's that? 2nd Maccabees chapter 6 verse 18.
All right, 2nd Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Keep going, King.
But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth, and it came of his own accord to the torment.
So like the brother was just saying, there ain't gonna be nothing new under the sun. We all know that the so-called white man shows that the new world order in movies for a reason. It's either for real you gonna get down or you gonna lay down. And some people, guess what? You gonna not forsake the law. You gonna die for this law. Give me matter of fact, one more precept. Go to I think it's First Maccabees chapter 2. I think it's 50, if I'm not mistaken. But the elder was, hey, he said, I'd rather die before I eat something like that. Yeah, that one right there, yeah.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 50. Now, therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
Zealous. Can you look up that word zealous for me? Just to show people what that word means. It says you gotta be zealous and willing to give your lives for this truth. It's good to know that, guess what? Yeah, you an Israelite, but when it comes time to get down to lay down, what you gonna do?
Zealous, showing great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or objective.
So you have to have great energy, enthusiasm. You think Yahweh Shai finna deal with baby's kids in the wilderness? No, he finna be looking for people that's want to do this every day in, day out, in season, out of season. If you just want to just pick up this thing whenever it's convenient for you, you might as well just like, I'm just gonna steal that from my brother. You might as well just take your fringes off and just throw them in the street. Let somebody else that's willing to die for this. You got to be willing to give your life for the law. You think these prophets in the Bible were soft-spoken men like the pastors in the church? No, these men were men of Yahweh. They only feared the Most High God. They gave their lives for the law. So when it gets time, when like the Bible says, when the devil comes down with great wrath, you should not even be scared, because there ain't nothing in America worth dying for. That's all I got.
That's right. Anybody had anything else?
I'll say
I got it.
Oh,
you go ahead, King.
No, I was just gonna say, man, there's one reason why we celebrate the feast of dedication, man, in honor of the Maccabees brothers and the work that they put in, the wars that they went through, to dedicate our temple back, man, and to save our people. They're the real superheroes, bro. Forget about Superman, forget about Batman, forget about Spider-Man, Iron Man. The Maccabees brothers, they are the real superheroes, man, because they fought for their people. They was willing to live and die for their people. So this is why Friday at sundown, this is why we're going to be turning up in righteousness for Feast of Dedication, because of the mighty acts that our brothers did, for the law. They was zealous for the law. So we're going to honor them brothers in righteousness when that day comes. But you got it, King.
Let me see. Can you give me the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 4? I ain't gonna read the whole thing. I just want to read I ain't that side of that, man. Kind of like what the brother was saying, man. You got to be willing to die for this, man. This ain't no joke, man. All these things that's in this Bible is gonna happen, man. Like growing up, they say, hey, we finna see who the man is from the boys, man. We finna see who really gonna stand on this truth, man, and stand in the name of Yahweh Shai and in the Father name. You know what I'm saying? But somebody read that for me until it says neither his image.
It says, verse 4, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image.
But guess what, man? We got to be willing to, get that head cut off. You got to be willing to be, guess what, thrown into prison. You got to be willing to die. You got to be willing to, guess what, know this truth. You know what I'm saying? Like it says, people, will be beheaded for Yahweh Shai and for the word of Yahweh. that we're not gonna worship that white Christ, that white. Let me just keep it real. We're not gonna worship that Caesar Borgia. We're not gonna worship anything that they bring to us and tell us in these last days. Guess what? This. We're not finna sell out to be up there with the white man. We're not finna be scared about losing our house and our cars, man. We're not scared about none of that because we know that we gon', you know what I'm saying, the kingdom. We know that the kingdom's gonna be, know that the kingdom coming, man. We're not finna fall down and worship false gods, man. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the commandments. You're not supposed to serve no other guys, man. Yahweh's a jealous God. But that I'm here.
And I had one more precept too, King, before we close out. Can you get First Maccabees chapter 4? Let's start at 55 on down to 61. Yeah, so you just to show you the spirit that our brothers was in and our sisters, you know, when they were celebrating dedication. That's the type of spirit that we got to be in too. Type of glad spirit. Okay.
First Maccabees chapter 4, verse 55. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, and who had given them good success. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and offered burnt offerings with gladness and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields. And the gates of the chambers they renewed and hanged doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25 and 20th day of the month of Caslu, with myrrh and gladness. At that time, also they builded up Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsur to preserve it, and that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
Right. So our people kept the feast of dedication, you know, with gladness and mirth. So that's how we got to be in that day, man. When dedication comes, we got to keep it with gladness and with mirth. Be happy, you know, just meditate on these times, you know, that what our forefathers done. And just, you know, decorate. If you got some decorations, decorate your house. Do what you got to do. Make it look nice. Because it's the day of the Lord. You know, this is the day to represent the Lord. When Christmas came around, we made sure we had that Christmas tree in the house. We made sure we had them lights around the house. So how much more the feast of dedication for the Lord? We can show out for the Lord, man. You know, so I yield on that, man.
All praises, man. So all praises, man. Thank you for bringing out this class. Looking forward to the feast of dedication. Like I said, if anybody wants to come, please go ahead and RSVP. Yeah, so we could get a number, an exact number of who all wants to come. And if you haven't RSVP'd yet, you can do so by our email address, or you can do so by our congregation phone number. You can call or you can text and just say, I'd like to attend the Feast of Dedication, and we'll try to accommodate you. All right, so all praises to the Most High God, and in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shah. All right, appreciate every one of y'all for coming and worshiping with us. And Most High willing, we'll see y'all Tuesday at 7 o'clock for the law call. All right, and then Thursday we have the real-time prophecy. So the water, everybody, for coming out. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.